try to get the attention of certain government ministers and other members concerning former Senate President Timothy Hamel-Smith. Tell me what happened.
Okay, first of all, I want to apologize for coming out. And the reason I came out is I got a very urgent call from my daughter in England, so family matters first, so which is why I'm out here. That is, I want to make that clear.
Right.
What happened was that the former president, Timothy Hamel-Smith, had tried in many occasions through the Prime Minister's office, then I think through the President's office, through even an email, to see if he would get an invitation as a former president to the Senate, and he got no response. So I have to say that every single member of the police, in all their different capacities, were very, very respectful and very kind to both of us. And what had happened was that we were trying to get in before the procession. And they suggested to us, it was not a suggestion, I just want to make that clear. It was their suggestion, why don't you just park your car there and come over? So I said, but I will come over, because what I tried to do was to get the attention of my former colleague, Mr. Brown, and I also tried to get I also spoke across the with Paris Minister, right. He said he could do nothing. And while I do understand that the minister was engaged in an interview, I thought at the very least, not even with respect for me, but respect for the former president, at least I think I would have done that. I would have said to someone, just 1 second, could someone just deal with this for me? None of them did that. And this is my respectful opinion, and the Prime Minister can quote me on that. But I do believe he gave instructions which they do follow, because they are under a leadership that is both authoritarian and even by what they say and how they act. That I do believe that Minister Brown, whom I had a good relationship with, it totally ignored me. He could say he didn't ignore me. He did ignore me. We went from one interview to the next, and in between the two, he could have taken a break and done what I said and what I'd asked. It was their suggestion, the police, not me. They said to me, why don't you just climb over the ventricles to go down there? The procession had started. And I said, okay, I'll do that. And I did it, and so did the former president. I'm not sure they were appreciative of that. But you see, that's what happens when you are, in my view, not disrespectful to the office, not me. If you want to call me and your political enemies is sad, which is why this country cannot move forward, and under their leadership. Because if you're going to be spiteful, as I took it as being spiteful, or at least mean-spirited and definitely personal, and your ministers seem to act in accordance with what I feel to be your instructions, I may be wrong, but you could do me that, but you don't do that to the former president. And I thought that was the height of disrespect, and they can call it, I want to be clear, the president did say that we wasn't sure if the minister said that we were grandstanding. Well, we were not grandstanding. We were doing what you should have done, which was the right thing to do. We also were not allowed to go in. But okay, that's okay. I mean, if that's what you decided, you decided. But to treat the president and to treat a former colleague in a manner which I considered to be dismissive and just reflective of what this government represents, which I don't think I would have ever done to a colleague, ever. I would not have done that. I would have stopped after an interview, between an interview, and say, could you just deal with the former minister and the former president and see what you can do? That was not done, so we were encouraged to go over, and we did.
So what you're saying is that you were not allowed to go into the funeral itself?
No, well, we didn't even reach that stage. We weren't allowed to. We were trying to avoid the procession and get a parking, because the parking might
No,
be
I meant subsequent to
yes,
your jumping
subsequent
over. Were you allowed to go in?
Subsequent to us storming, I would like, you can use that as a heading, because the president said that we stormed, and I said, they could use that as a headline, because that's what we call it. When you're not invited, then you're storming. So yes, we did try to get in, and the young lady said, no, we're not on the list. She come here. I said, but even if I'm not on the list, this is your former president of the Senate. Certainly you can find a seat for him. She said, no, you're not on the list. There you go. So that tells you a lot about this government. It tells you how they think. And am I surprised? No, I'm not. Am I disappointed? No. Do I expect them to behave as how they behave? Absolutely. 100%. That is why I will make a statement which I try never to do, because I try never, and I'm not going to make it because I want to respect Mr. Panday, for whom I had a lot of regard. And by the way, people may not know it, but when I was in Parliament and I was a neophyte, he used to make a joke with me, tell me, come over on the side now, come over on the side. So I had a kind of a personal, and I also have a good relationship with his daughter, Michaela, with whom I have a WhatsApp. So it's not just me coming because of him being a former minister, a prime minister, but it's also my own affection for him, as well as for his daughter, regardless of differences in politics. But this is our country, and you don't treat a fellow country person of note, not me, but a former president. And it's unfortunate, and it's a reflection on our leadership, which is a consistent behavior that they've had since they came into office, which is why I'm not there. And I'm not there because I want to make it very clear, please, I want to make it very clear. I'm not there because they didn't want me. They asked me. I'm telling you, they asked me when they were in opposition, and I said no. I want to make that very clear. Two people they sent, I don't know who sent them, but they were powerful enough. They asked me, I said no. And I said no because I could not be under the leadership of this gentleman before Rowley was proven that my decision was the right one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Lovely.